coalition of supporters and edged the 10-year incumbent Gordon Paquette. Mr. Sanders was sworn in as mayor of Burlington on April 6th. Tonight, our Vermont Report guest is Burlington Mayor Gordon. Is that awful? I made the
Save that tape.
Save the tape. That's right. Save the tape.
Pennies in a stream, falling leaves, a sycamore, moonlight in Vermont. I see fingers wave, ski trails on a mountainside, snow light in Vermont.
Mayor Sanders got a lot of attention recently, not only with his 10-vote victory out of about 9,500 votes cast, but mostly because he is a socialist. And everybody reading that article said, my goodness, how did this happen in good old conservative Vermont? How do you respond?
Well, in Vermont, being conservative is different perhaps than being conservative elsewhere in the country. Also, what I think most people don't know is Vermont happens to be one of the very poorest states in the country. And although we're a little bit better off in Burlington, we still have enormous economic problems. I won the election, I think, because we effectively put together a coalition of low-income people, elderly people who in Vermont are very often up against the wall economically, in very bad shape. Some of our city trade unions.
The cops supported you, didn't they?
The police department supported us.
Right. So you had police officers voting for you who probably voted for Ronald Reagan.
Well, I'm not so sure that I don't know, if I can say
But that's
that.
certainly...
But the police officers in our particular city are earning, they're trade unionists. And they're earning very low wages, and along with many other workers in our city, want some fundamental change. Also, we have in our city particular problems, I believe, with the police department that they've been concerned about, very low morale. So it didn't particularly surprise me.
How are Vermont conservatives different than national conservatives?
It's not big money conservatism. It's not right-wingism and warmongerism. In fact, Vermont has always had a very strong feeling about civil liberties. What conservatism means in Vermont basically is leave me alone, get the government off my back, and that's fine. It's a respect for other people's rights. We disagree, we'll talk it out. And that's a very different conservatism that says, let's go to war, supranationalism, and so forth.
If I were the president of the largest bank in Burlington, I'd be real nervous about you.
Well, they may be. They may be. But I think they are. You're going to find out very soon that this guy is not the alternative. There are other alternatives.
Okay. I know these are terribly complicated questions and our time is up, but are you a capitalist?
No, I'm not a capitalist.
So you don't believe in the profit motive, free enterprise? If I have a better mousetrap, I make more money.
There's something to be said for free enterprise on a local level and the competition. But what we're happening in our society is we don't live in a free enterprise society. You live in a corporate capitalist society where in virtually every single industry you have giant multi-billion-dollar corporations competing, driving the small businessman
But let's
out.
pretend it would work without all that kind of acquisition of power that is unfair and doesn't...
Do I believe that the profit motive is fundamental to human nature? The answer is no. I think the spirit of cooperation, that you and I can work together better rather than having to compete against each other in Detroit.
I'm Ben. I'm Jerry. You know, we may not have the money to go on TV for 30 seconds, but we sure do make some of the best ice cream you ever tasted. Look for us on top of every pint.